My name is Emily. I am 31 years old. I have long black hair and green eyes. I work as a writer. I write short stories and articles for magazines. I live alone in a small apartment in the city. My life is quiet, but I enjoy it. I spend most of my time reading books, drinking coffee, and writing stories. One day, my editor called me. "Emily, I have a special job for you." "What kind of job?" I asked. "There is a small village in the mountains. People say a mysterious house near the lake has been empty for 20 years, but every night, a light appears in one of its windows." I laughed. "That sounds like a ghost story." "Maybe it is," my editor replied. "Go there and write about it." I liked mysteries, so I agreed. The next morning, I packed my bag and drove to the village. The village was beautiful. There were green hills, colorful flowers, and a large blue lake. Near the lake stood an old wooden house. It looked lonely and forgotten. As I looked at the house, an old woman approached me. "You should stay away from that place," she said. "Why?" I asked. She lowered her voice. "Because every person who tried to discover its secret left the village frightened." I smiled politely. "I don't believe in ghosts." The old woman looked at me carefully. "Perhaps you will after tonight." Then she walked away. That evening, I rented a small room in the village. After dinner, I looked out of my window. I could see the old house across the lake. Suddenly, a light appeared in the upstairs window. I sat up quickly. The old woman was right. There really was a light. I decided to go there. I took my flashlight and walked toward the lake. The night was cold and quiet. I could hear the wind and the sound of water. As I reached the house, I noticed something strange. The front door was slightly open. I pushed it gently. Creak. The door opened. Inside, the house was dark and dusty. There were old paintings on the walls and furniture covered with white cloth. Then I heard a sound upstairs. Footsteps. Slow footsteps. My heart began to beat very fast. I wanted to leave, but I was also curious. I slowly walked upstairs. The footsteps stopped. I reached the end of the hallway. One door was open. A warm light came from inside. I took a deep breath and entered the room. A man was sitting near the window. I almost screamed. The man turned around. He looked about 60 years old. He smiled. "I've been expecting you," he said. I stared at him. "Who are you?" "My name is Henry." "What are you doing here?" He looked out of the window. "This is my house." I was confused. "Everyone in the village says this house has been empty for 20 years. He smiled sadly. "Because I wanted them to believe that." I sat down slowly. "Why?" For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he pointed to an old photograph on the table. It showed a young woman. "That is my wife, Sarah," he said softly. "She died 20 years ago." "I'm sorry," I said. He nodded. "After she died, I couldn't live among other people. I stayed here alone." "But why does the light appear every night?" He smiled. "Because every evening, Sarah and I used to sit in this room and watch the lake together." His eyes became wet. "So I still light this lamp every night." I suddenly felt very sad. The mysterious light was not a ghost. It was love. A love that never disappeared. We talked for hours. Henry told me stories about his life and his wife. He showed me old photographs and letters. Near midnight, I stood up. "I should go." He smiled. "Thank you for visiting me." The next morning, I wrote my article. I did not write about ghosts. I wrote about love. I wrote about a man who kept a light burning every night because he never forgot the woman he loved. A week later, the article was published. Thousands of people read it. Many visitors came to the village. They brought flowers and gifts for Henry. He was no longer lonely. 3 months later, I returned to the village. I knocked on the door of the old house. Henry opened it and smiled. "You came back." "Of course," I said. He laughed. "You know, Emily, my wife always said that strangers sometimes become family." I smiled, and she was right. That evening, we sat by the lake and watched the sunset. The lamp glowed softly in the window. For the first time, the mysterious house did not look lonely anymore, and I realized something important. Some lights are not there to scare us. Some lights are there to remind us that true love never really goes away.